G'day everybody. I just wanted to take you through a special edition information share around bonuses for 2014. So clearly this is something we want to get nice and buttoned down early on in the piece in the new financial, and there has been a number of changes going into the new year that I'd like to share with you. First and foremost, there is 4 key bonus chunks, and the percentages that they all are attributed to are different than they have been in the past. So I'd like to split them into bits, so bear with me. Guys, the first bonus element is the line EBIT number. Now this really has no change from the historic approach, apart from the percentages that are attributable. Ultimately, it has moved from the 40% to a 34% rating. So really no change here. This is just more reflective of the fact that the business is now set up to consistently deliver on our numbers as we are expecting. So that's number 1, line EBIT. Guys, the second element I want to talk to you about is LLR EBIT. There is a clear change here, so I just wanted to take you through this so everybody is very, very clear and focused on what we're trying to achieve. The key change here is we're moving from a store EBIT, which then consolidates up to a total EBIT, to just one number, the LLR EBIT, that we're all accountable for. Now it's key that this is quite different, so I just want you to bear with me while I talk you through it. Righto guys, I thought the best way to articulate this change in LLR EBIT was to do it visually. Those of you who will know me will know that I'm quite a visual person and like to scribble and do doodles. So the key change for us in LLR EBIT is moving to a total number that we're all accountable for. So one number that myself, David Holford, Justin McFarlane, Kay Dons, all these guys are accountable for the same number. Now the key challenge we have is Goldilocks. Now the Goldilocks products that you're now very au fait with are going to come thick and fast from Lion. The challenge we have is we don't know when they're going to turn up, we don't know what the product is, and we don't know what the price is going to be like. Therefore, we don't know what sort of stores it's going to suit or what sort of margin we're going to make. That gives us a real challenge to try and therefore figure out what each store's EBIT will be based on this great unknown. So if I can just try and explain it on a simple whiteboard here with a simple graph that I've handwritten. Essentially our target is X, $700,000 EBIT. When we've worked from the bottom up based on all of your P&Ls, we have got a consolidated store EBIT number which doesn't quite get to $700,000. That's based on a good and fair EBIT number based on the performance of your stores and the market that you're dealing with. Essentially we then therefore have a gap. This gap is Goldilocks. So based on all the work that we've done with Lion, we know around about how much we're going to get and around about what sort of margin it's going to deliver. Therefore, this gap equals Goldilocks. So as I say, the only way we can build a total consolidated number is to have Goldilocks on top of your store numbers. Otherwise it would be very unfair and unequitable to a number of the stores. So this is unashamedly the number 1 reason why we are moving to a total LLR EBIT number. So that is the what, that we're dealing with the what. Now I want to talk about the how. One of the key things that we can do as we change this regime is to ensure that our behaviours are right around sharing what we know and helping each other out. I've done some mathematics and I've, at a stretch, figured out that we've got between 500 and 700 years experience within all of the stores. Therefore, we've got massive opportunities to have more of a collaborative approach and more cross-store communication. So what I'd really like to encourage and see is us all helping each other out more around driving key top-line sales and our KPIs. So 2 key elements. First one, Goldilocks, it's coming. We don't know what it is, and we don't know how much it's going to cost us, and we don't know who it's going to suit. And the second thing is, let's just take this opportunity to work closer together and share what we know. Righto guys, the next thing I want to talk to you about is Lion Share. Now I know you're all working really hard to drive our Lion Share up, and we've subsequently bonused our retail store execs to support that. And we've already started to see some great results coming through the stores and our Lion Share moving up. Now let's just remember that we had changed our model slightly a couple of years ago that has lifted our non-line share a little bit over a period of time. So if I was to talk to you about what it's looked like over the last few years, our line share over the last 5 years has gone up to approximately 72%. Now, all the discussions I've been having with you all have been around, we believe that's slightly more than we can cope with, and we're seeing lots of people walking out. So we've listened and we've changed our model to support that. So over a period of time, the last couple of years, our line share has now dropped to around about 68%. Now we believe there is some scope over and above the 68%, certainly considering some of the great MPD we're seeing out of line, like brambles, for example. So what we'd like to see is our line share hitting somewhere around about at least 70%, which is lower than where we have been in the past, while we've also got more MPD than we had in the past. So clearly we're trying to drive the right thing for us and the right thing for line, and we'd like to have a bonus that reflects that. So if I was to take brambles, for example, once again, cider is about 3% of our market. Brambles should be get to almost about half of that. So therefore that's 1.5 share points that didn't exist. And that's before we even start to talk about beer and other MPD. So I really encourage you to get stuck into the great work that you've already started and continue driving the line share agenda. And we've set our bonuses up to reflect that. Thanks for your help in this space, guys. So clearly, guys, if we were to achieve this, then Rory Glass's face would look like this. And that would make Rory very happy, and me. Thank you. Right, guys, the last area I'd like to talk to you about, and the last bonus element, is around the execution deck and toolbox talks. Now, we are really trying to drive and continue to drive a safe environment, and the progress we've made to date is absolutely outstanding. Like, for example, in the latest quarter, we had no lost time injuries, which is just outstanding and something you should be very proud of. So if I was to go back to the board again and try and articulate this, this is what we don't want. Now, for those of you who are not really in tune with my graphics as of yet, that, my friends, is a band-aid. We want very few of those. We also want very few sprained ankles, sore heads, and cut fingers. So for a starter, the Toolbox Talks facilitates a safe and sound environment. We really want you to go home in the same shape as you come to work. So we are actually going to bonus you on completing the Toolbox Talks. The reason why we're doing that clearly is around keeping you safe. Unashamedly, we want to keep you safe. So that's the first element. The second thing is around the execution deck. As we're trying to put more and more time into your day so you can spend time working on your business rather than in your business, we need a number of things to be done from a support office level to support making things run smoothly and consistently. Now, I was going to draw something here, but I don't know how to draw it. All I'm going to ask you is, please complete the execution deck. How are we going to measure this? The execution deck and Toolbox Talks is where we're expecting an 100% completion rate from the 1st of January. So we're giving you a bit of a head start on this one, guys. So from the 1st of January, we expect Toolbox Talks and the execution deck to be completed. Not a great, difficult, onerous task, but we really need for it to be done to ensure that we can maintain a consistent and efficient model. So I ask you please to do this and keep your foot on that one, because it's going to be important as we continue to evolve and grow over the year. Right, guys, before I get into Merry Christmas and all that sort of carrying on, I thought I would just summarise this for you in a simple grid. 4 key bonus elements. Number 1, line EBIT, 34%. Number 2, total LLR EBIT, 33%. Store line share, 17%. 100% Toolbox Talks and execution deck. 16%. I used to be quite good at maths. So there is the summary of the new store manager bonus. We've tried to keep it as simple as possible and keep us focused on the key things that are going to make the most impact for us in F14. Guys, I appreciate that this is a significant change. That's why I wanted to take the time with Oliver Stone here to ensure that we've got the right sort of information for you. Please feel free to give me a call if you need any further information. If you feel as though you've got anything to share around how we could do this better or differently, please give me a call. I'm all ears. But ultimately, this is a good, fair, consistent, and a bit of a stretch, but I'm sure you're up for it, a set of bonus goals that will drive the right sort of outcomes. So finally, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the graphics. I'm no Michelangelo, but I would like to once again say thank you to all of you, the 38 of you who run your stores, and please get stuck in over the next 2 or 3 weeks. This is where we make all our money, team, so really put your foot down and get stuck into it. And I do hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and you and your families have a lovely time, and you have a very, very safe and prosperous Christmas and New Year. Thanks, guys, and get stuck in.